Welcome back, students. Today I'm here with a new video on the series of the previous year question paper solution of science and technology from the Mbose board, the solved paper of 2021 board exam. As our first section is physics, the objectives, and the first part is the objectives of the physics part. A material medium having the lowest optical density is air. The focal length of the eye lens increases when eye muscles are relaxed and lens become thinner. The instrument is connected in a series in an electric circuit and has a low resistance. Name the instrument, that is ammeter. The curved lines along which iron filings align themselves around the bar magnet are called magnetic field lines. The space surrounded by bar magnet, in which its influence in the form of magnetic force can be detected, is called magnetic field. 1 watt-hour is equal to 3600 joule. Rainbow is formed due to dispersion of light. When the newspaper is seen through a lens, its print appears smaller. The nature of the lens is concave. Now answer the following short answer type questions. State the relationship between the focal length and the radius of curvature of the convex mirror. The relation between focal length, that is f, and the radius of curvature, that is r, of the convex mirror is that the focal length is equal to the half of the radius of the curvature. That is, in the mathematical equation we can write that f, that is the focal length, equal to r by 2. R is the radius of curvature, or we can say that radius of curvature equal to twice f, means 2 into focal length. Which defect of vision does an aged person suffer if he or she cannot see far and near objects clearly? That will be presbyopia. What type of lens should be used by him or her if he or she cannot read comfortably? That will be convex lens. Name the factor which determines the electric resistance of a conductor. The factor which determines the electrical resistance of the conductor are: number 1, length, cross section area of the conductor, materials that we are using as a conductor, and the temperature of the surrounding also matters. No two magnetic fields intersect each other. Why? If the magnetic field lines intersect each other, then the point of intersection, the compass needle, is likely to point two different directions of the same field, which is not possible, due to which no two field lines intersect each other at any time. Give the characteristics of the image formed when the object is placed between the principal focus and the pole of a concave mirror. The characteristics of image formed when the object is placed between the principal focus and the pole of concave mirror are: it will form a virtual image, an erect image behind the mirror, and the mirror will be enlarged, means bigger than the object. Name 2 common defects of human eye. The 2 common defects of human eye are myopia or nearsightedness. Number 2, hypermetropia or farsightedness. Name the kind of lens used for correcting the above defects. Yes. For the kinds of lens for correcting the above defects means for myopia we have to use concave lens, and for hypermetropia we have to use convex lens. Now numerical. What will be the resistance between the circuit if 4 resistors of 2 ohm each are connected in a circuit in a series circuit? Means there are 4 resistors, but the resistance of each resistors will be 2 ohm and connected in a series circuit. So R1 equal to R2 equal to R3 equal to R4 equal to 2 ohm it will be. Assuming that total resistance of a series circuit is the summation of all the resistance, that is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 ohm, that will be 8 ohm. Ohm is the unit of resistance. What do you understand by the term ion movement? The current that is produced due to the movement of ion is called ion current. Give one application of magnetic resonance imaging. One application of magnetic resonance imaging to detect anomalies of the brain and spinal cord. Next, the velocity of the light in air is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second and in glass is 2 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Find the refractive index of the glass. Now this is a numerical form refraction. As given in the question, that the velocity of the light in air, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and velocity of the light in glass, means material that is made up of glass, is 2 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Then the refractive index of the glass will be, as the mathematical formula says, velocity of the light in air divided by velocity of the light in glass. That will be 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second divided by 2 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. If we divide it, we will get 1.5. Now the question, draw a figure in your answer book and show the direction of the ray light after reflection. As you see that in the question paper there is no image is shown in a figure, but this one is a direct answer. I have not given the image that is given in the question. Just the part beyond the mirror is not there because that one is of the image. But here it is asked that where will be the image. Means draw a figure in your answer book and show the direction of the ray of the light after reflection. That means after reflection where will be the image will go. Then the arrow is there, you can look where it is reflecting and where the image is formed. Now define power of a lens. What is its unit? Means what is power? The reciprocal of focal length in meter is called power of lens, and the unit of power of lens is dioptry. State any 6 common characteristics of light. The 6 common characteristics of light are: light is an invisible energy which is rebounded from the surface of a matter, causing sensation of vision. Light is an electromagnetic wave. Light produces shadow when obstructed by opaque objects. Light gets refracted when it travels from one medium to another medium. The velocity of light in vacuum is 3 × 10⁸ meter per second. Light gets reflected back from a polished or smooth surface such as mirror, polished metals, still water, etc. Give 3 characteristics of a parallel circuit. There are 2 types of circuit, one is series and one is parallel circuit. Here they have asked to give 3 characteristics of parallel circuit. The 3 characteristics of parallel circuit are: parallel circuit has 2 or more paths for current to flow, as you can look in your textbook. Voltage is same through all the paths. Sum of the current means sum addition of all the current through each part of is equal to the total current that flows from the source. Derive the mathematical expression of Ohm law. Define SI, unit of resistance. The mathematical expression of Ohm's law, that is voltage. Sorry, here it is little wrong. That voltage in bracket there will be V, capital letter V. This typing mistake. Is proportional to resistance, that is R, capital letter R. So in mathematical way we can write that V is directly proportional to R. Then V equal to IR. That I is the proportionality constant or current. I denotes as current. Sorry for the mistake. That is that voltage will be V, not R. Please rectify it. The SI and the SI unit of this ohms of resistance is ohm. How is electric current measured? Electric current is measured by ammeter instrument. That is the instrument, electrical instrument. It's like a voltmeter. There is an ammeter by which we can measure the electric current. What is an electric motor? Write the principle on which electric motor is based. Give the function of a commutator. An electric motor is an electric machine that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. The working of an electric motor is based on the principle that a current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field around it. When a current carrying conductor is placed perpendicular between 2 bar magnet poles keep facing each other, the conductor experiences a force which makes it rotate. This continuous rotation makes an electric motor works. The function of commutator or slip ring to change the direction of current through the coil after every half rotation. Enumerate any 3 characteristics of a permanent magnet. Permanent magnets do not depend on current or for their magnetism, that is, they always retain their magnetic properties. The strength of the permanent magnet cannot be altered. Permanent magnet occurs naturally. What is lateral displacement? Lateral displacement is the perpendicular distance between the incident ray and the emergent ray when a ray of light passes through a glass slab. State the law of reflection of light. Number 1. The incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal at the point of, that will be OF of incidence, all lie on the same plane. The sign of number 2, the sign of incidence and the angle of sign of refraction is always a constant for the light of a given color and for the given pair of media. Why is convex mirror preferred over plane mirror for rear view? Means for car rear view mirror. Convex mirror always form a erect virtual and diminished image of the object. Thus it provides the driver with a wide range of view, enable him or her to get a better view of the traffic behind. Between retina and iris, which act like a photographic camera, that is iris. Name the two types of nerve ending in the retina and also mention its characteristics. There are two types of nerve ending, that are cones and rods. Cones are sensitive to different colors of light and are responsible for color vision. Rods are light sensitive, help in night vision. Give two function of aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is the liquid jelly-like structure present in the eye. It provides nutrition to the eye. It maintains pressure within the eye. List three characteristics of magnetic field lines. They start at North Pole and ends at South Pole. They are the strongest near to the poles. They do not intersect. They do not intersect each other. Why a body is said to be positive? Actually, this one, number G, question number G's answer. Number 3, they do not. That will do not. No, I have written DON. That will DO do and not intersect each other. Okay. Then, when the body is said to be positively or negatively charged, a body is said to be negatively charged when it gains electrons, whereas a body is said to be positively charged when it loses electrons. How many electrons consists 1 unit of electric charge? 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons constitute 1 unit electric charge. So this is the ending of the physics section. Now we will enter to the chemistry section, that is section B. First of all, we go with the MCQs. Choose the correct answer. What one of the following can be used as acid-base indicator by the visually impaired students? That is vanilla incense. Long form of periodic table was reconstructed by Moseley. Which among the following is double displacement reaction? That is sodium sulfate plus barium chloride will give barium sulfate plus sodium chloride. An element that is essential constituent of all organic compounds belong to group 14. Oxidation is a process which involves addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen. Which one of the following is a strong acid? That is, we know, hydrochloric acid. Now balancing the equation. The first one is FeS2 plus O2 will give Fe2O3SO2. But after balancing, it will be 4FeS2 plus 11O2 will give 2Fe2O3 plus 8SO2. Next, C4H10 plus O2 will give CO2 plus H2O. And again, after balancing this equation, 2C4H10 plus 13O2 will give 8CO2 plus 10H2O. Next, identify the following elements whose electronic configuration are below. Means in question, the options are there. We have to identify according to their electronic configuration. So number A, 282, that will be magnesium, Mg. Next, 281, that will be sodium, Na. Next, 287, that will be chlorine, Cl. And 21, that will be lithium, Li. What are isomers? Write the formula of two isomers of butane. Isomers are compounds having the same chemical formula but different chemical structures, and the structures are given of butane and isobutane. What change in color is observed when white silver chloride is left exposed to sunlight? State the type of chemical reaction in this change. When white silver chloride is left exposed to sunlight, its color changes from white to grey color, and this reaction is photolytic decomposition reaction. An element P belongs to group 2 of the long form of periodic table. How many valence electrons are there in P? That will be 2 because it belongs to group 2. What is the valency of P? Is P a metal or a non-metal? The valency of P is 2 and it is a metal. Identify the functional group of the following. Number A, CH3COOH, that is carboxylic acid. CH2CH2OH, that will be alcohol because OH is there. Next, CH3COCH3, that is ketone because CO is there, that will be double bond, C double bond O if we write the structure. At last, C2H3CHO is there. CHO is aldehyde group, so this will be aldehyde. When a shining piece of copper is placed in colorless silver nitrate solution, then silver metal and copper nitrate solution are formed. Question is, what type of reaction is this? This is displacement reaction. What is the color of the solution after reaction? That is bluish green. Write the valence chemical equation to represent the above reaction. That will copper Cu plus 2AgNO3 silver nitrate will give copper nitrate Cu within bracket NO3 2 plus silver 2Ag. What is the color of the ferrous sulfate crystal? That will be light green. What is the change in color on further heating? Means if we heat further, then what will be the color? The color changes from light green to white. Name the product formed on strongly heating of ferrous sulfate crystals. What type of chemical reaction occurs in this reaction? The product formed on strongly heating ferrous sulfate crystals are ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide, and ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur trioxide. And the reaction is thermal decomposition reaction. Write the chemical formula of bleaching powder, that is Ca within bracket ClO2. What happens when it is left exposed in the air? When bleaching powder is exposed in the air, it reacts with carbon dioxide, forms the atmosphere to produce calcium carbonate and chlorine gas A and B. After calcium carbonate, that will be and A and E and chlorine gas. This all I will rectify, and I will give in the description box the link of my notes after I rectify it. Give any two use of bleaching powder. It is used as a disinfectant. It will be in one word, disinfectant, which is used for disinfecting water to make potable water. It is used for bleaching dirty clothes in the laundry, as a bleaching agent for cotton and lining in the textile industry. What do you mean by family of salts? Salts belong to the family. Some positive or negative radicals are said to belong to the family. This question has came in 2019 also. What is neutralization reaction? This one is a common question that comes almost every year. When a chemical reaction is in which an acid reacts completely with a base from salt and water, as the only product, is called neutralization reaction. Name two highly malleable metals, that is gold and silver. Name the molecule of an element that has one covalent bond, that is hydrogen H2, and two covalent bond, that is oxygen O2, and three covalent bonds, that is nitrogen N2. So this one has undisplaced the alignation. Give the general name of the class of compounds having the general formula CnH2n-2. Write the name of any member of this homologous series. The general name of the class of compound having the formula CnHn2-2 is alkyne. What is methylated spirit? Methylated spirit is a mixture of ethyl alcohol of 90% and methyl alcohol of 5%. The methyl alcohol is poisonous and is added to prevent the methylated spirit from being used as cheap drinking alcohol. A non-metal X exists in two different forms, Y and Z. Y is the hardest natural substance, whereas Z is a good conductor of electricity. Identify X, Y and Z. X is a carbon, Y is a diamond and Z is a graphite. As all are made up, diamond and graphite are made up of carbon, but diamond is the hardest, as we know, but it is an insulator. It doesn't allow to pass to flow electricity through it, but graphite it allows, as it is a good conductor. State the reason why sodium and potassium metals are kept immersed under kerosene oil. Sodium and potassium are highly reactive metals and react vigorously with the oxygen and moisture present in the air, causing fire. Thus, it prevents this. They kept immersed in kerosene because they do not react with kerosene. Give an example of a metal with a liquid at room temperature, that is mercury. State any three difference between calcination and roasting. That is calcination. Calcination is a process of heating an ore in the absence or limited supply of air, that is oxygen. But in roasting, is a process of heating ore in the presence of air, or we can say oxygen. It involves thermal decomposition of carbonates ore. but in roasting it is carried of mostly of sulfide minerals. In calcination, carbon dioxide is released, but in roasting, sulfur dioxide is released. Why is pure gold not used to make ornaments? Pure gold is not used to make ornaments because pure gold is soft and can break upon uses. How is gold hardened to make ornaments? What do you mean by 20K gold, means 20 karat gold? Gold is hardened by mixing it with the other metal or metal to make ornaments. 20 karat gold means gold that is mixed alloyed, means making an alloy with some metals to harden it so that ornaments can be made of it, means of gold. Give the composition and use of brass and bronze. The composition of brass is copper and zinc, and the composition of bronze in copper and tin. Brass and bronze is used for making decorative items, musical instruments and utensils. What change do you observe when a strip of iron metal is placed in copper sulfate solution? When a strip of iron metal is placed in a copper sulfate solution, initially the blue color of the copper sulfate solution fades and the red-brown coating of copper metal is deposited on the iron strip. On keeping the strip immersed, further the solution turns greenish due to the formation of iron sulfate. Define exothermic reaction with the chemical equation. The reaction in which heat is given out is called exothermic reaction. What is catenation? Catenation is a self-linking property of an element to form long chain. Write the name of two alkanes, one having 3 carbon atoms and the other having 4 carbon atoms. 3 carbon atoms is propane and 4 carbon atoms is butane. What are groups and periods in the periodic table? The vertical column of the periodic table are groups and the horizontal rows of the periodic table are periods. What happens when metal carbonates reacts with an acid? When the metal carbonates reacts with an acid, a salt, carbon dioxide and water are formed. Which gases evolve when zinc granules are heated with concentrated sodium hydroxide solution, that is hydrogen gas? Now comes to the biology section. Again MCQs. The inner lining of stomach is protected by which of the following from hydrochloric acid, that is mucus? Which of the following endocrine gland is unpaired? Pituitary. Platelets help in clotting of blood. The main function of plant hormone abscisic acid is to inhibit growth. The male gamete from pollen tubes fuse with eggs to form zygote. An organism which reproduce by the process of binary fusion is amoeba. Write any 2 points of difference between photosynthesis and respiration. Photosynthesis is an anabolic process and respiration is a catabolic process. Photosynthesis occurs only in photosynthetic cells, but respiration occurs in all types of living cells. Illustrate with the help of a suitable diagram multiple fusion in Plasmodium. This figure you can see in your textbook also. If it is not clear, you can clarify it from your textbook. Next, define regeneration. Give two example. The ability to give rise to new individual organisms from their body part is called regeneration. Name the four whorls of a typical angiospermic flower. The typical flower consists of four floral whorls, that is calyx, made of sepals, corolla, made of petals, endoecium, male reproductive units, and gynoecium, that is female reproductive units. Define the term analogous organ. Give two examples. The organs which looks alike and perform same function but are quite different in basic nature and embryonic origin in different species are called analogous organ. Write any two function of blood. The two function of bladder, it helps to regulate the blood pressure in body and to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs through blood. Name the covering in brain and the fluid present in between. Meaning these are membrane that cover and protect the brain. Cerebrospinal fluid, that is CSF, is a fluid present in between the layer. Name the two main constituents of the central nervous system in human being. The two main constituents of central nervous system in human beings are brain and spinal cord. Name the technique used for propagating disease-free variety of plant. The technique used for propagating disease-free variety of plants is tissue culture. Name any two agencies through which cross-pollination takes place. The two agencies through which cross-pollination takes place are wind and water. Give the scientific name of the organisms Mendel used for his experiment. The scientific name of the organisms Mendel used for his experiment is Pythium sativum. Define fossils. Fossils are the remaining or trace and impression of any other organisms that live in the geological past. In the given diagram that is given the side, name the part 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here 1 refers to left renal vein, 2 refers to left renal artery, 3 refers to left ureter, and 4 refers to urinary bladder. This one for visually impaired candidate. The two types of nestic movement are name the two types of nestic movement. Also explain each. The two types of nestic movements are seismonestic movement, that is this movement occurs in response to touch. For example, leaves of Mimosa pudica, that is touch me not plant. Next is nyctinestic movement. This movement involves the diurnal caryation in the position of flower and leaves of many plants in day and night. For example, the leaves of leguminous plant folds up and close in the evening and opens in the morning. Name the two major components of a normal human urine. The two major components of human urine are urea and uric acid. Name the 4 types of heterotrophic nutrition. The 4 main types of heterotrophic nutrition are holozoic, saprophytic, parasitic, and symbiotic nutrition. Name the vestigial part of human alimentary canal. The vestigial part of human alimentary canal is vermiform appendix. Name the animal hormone responsible for regulating protein metabolism and body growth. That is growth hormone, somatotropic. Lowering blood sugar level, that is insulin. Regulating calcium and phosphorus metabolism, that is parathormone. Which endocrine gland is present in male but not in females? The testis is present in the male but not in female. Name the endocrine gland associated with kidneys. Endocrine gland associated with kidneys means the adrenal gland is associated with kidneys. Which gland secretes digestive enzymes as well as hormone? The pancreatic gland secretes digestive enzymes, that is the pancreatic juice, as well as hormone. Hormone means the insulin. The insulin is secreted from pancreas. Write the full form of the following. MTP, that is medical termination of pregnancy. IUCD, intrauterine contraceptive device. STD, sexually transmitted disease. Distinguish between external fertilization and internal fertilization, giving an example of each. Internal fertilization, fusion of gametes within the body of a female. External fertilization is a union of the gametes in the external environment. In internal fertilization, only male gametes are discharged into the female genitalia tract, but in external fertilization, both the female and the male gametes are discharged into the external surroundings. The example of internal fertilization is reptiles, birds, and external fertilization is fish, amphibians, and amphibia also. What do you understand by phenotypic and genotypic? The external appearance or body character of an organism, irrespective of its genetic makeup, is said to be phenotypic, whereas the genetic constitution of an individual is said to be genotype. State the law of purity of gametes. Law of purity is the law of segregation only. According to this law, when a pair of alleles comes together in a hybrid of a membrane of a pair stay together without mixing and separate when hybrid forms gametes. Name 3 pairs of salivary glands in humans. Where do they open? There are 3 pairs of salivary glands in the human mouth. Are the parotid gland located on each side of cheeks, the sublingual gland located under the tongue, and the submandibular gland located beneath the lower jaw. Which enzymes present in saliva break down starch? Salivary amylase break down starch. Name the process in plant where water is lost as water vapor, that is transpiration. Give the name of 4 kinds of phloem element: seed tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Mention the 2 important functions of lymph. The 2 important functions of lymph are: it carries digested and absorbed fat from the intestine, it drains the excessive fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. What is neuron? Neuron is a structural and functional unit of nervous system. State the function of sensory neuron, motor neuron, and connector neuron. Sensory neuron transmit impulse from the receptors to the brain and spinal cord. Motor neuron carries instruction from the brain and the receptors to the brain and spinal cord. Connector neuron interconnect the sensory and motor neuron. What is the directional movement of the plant in response to light, that is phototropism, and chemical stimulus called chemotropism? Name the process by which the present diversity of plant and animals arose from the earliest and primitive organism. That is evolution. Means evolution is a process by which the present diversity of the plants and animals arose from the earliest and primitive organisms. How many pairs of spinal nerves are there? There are 31 pair of spinal nerves and 12 pair of cranial nerves are there in human being. Name the instrument used to measure blood pressure in humans, that is sphygmomanometer. Name the mechanism for intake of fresh air from outside to the alveoli of the lungs, called inhalation, and the removal of stale air from the alveoli of lungs to outside is called exhalation. Write 2 functions of stomata. Number 1, transpiration. Number 2, exchange of gases. Now these questions are for the practical candidates with the practical marks. Answer any 3 of the following questions. What is a lens? Name 2 broad class of lens. The lens is defined as a portion of a transparent optical material having 1 or 2 spherical surface. The 2 broad classes of lens are converging lens and diverging lens. What is dispersion of light? The dispersion due to which a white light splits into its component colors when passed through a prism is called dispersion or dispersion of light. What is potential difference? Also gives its SI unit. The amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from FRO and from one point to another in an electric field is called potential difference, and the SI unit is volt, VOLT. Give 2 points of difference between electromagnet and permanent magnet. Electromagnet exhibits a much stronger magnetic field, but permanent magnet does not exhibit a very strong magnetic field. In electromagnet, the polarity can be reversed, but in permanent magnet, the polarity is fixed. What do you understand by accommodation of the eye? The process by which the ciliary muscles alter the focal length of the crystalline lens so as to focus nearer or far off objects clearly on the retina is called the accommodation of the eye. What are the two kinds of reflection of light? The two kinds of reflection of light are regular and irregular reflection of light. Now comes to the chemistry portion. What is chemical combination reaction? Also give one chemical equation for the above. When two elements or compounds react chemically to form a single new compound, then the chemical reaction that takes place is called a chemical combination reaction. When carbon reacts with oxygen, it will give carbon dioxide plus heat. Means the carbon and oxygen will be combined together to give carbon dioxide, CO2. What are acid and bases? An acid is a compound which is dissolved in water, gives hydronium ion as the only positive charge ion, whereas a base is a compound which accepts the proton, that is H plus, to form salt and water as the only product. What is meant by water of crystallization? This is also a common question, came before. In the previous year also this question has came. What is water of crystallization? A fixed number of water molecules that are in loose combination with one molecule of a salt is called water crystallization. Name one salt containing 5 molecules of water of crystallization. That is copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate. What are hydrocarbons? Give an example. Compounds of carbon in which their molecules are composed of only carbon and hydrogen atoms are called hydrocarbons. Now, for example, you can write C2H5OH. For example, you can write C2H5OH, that is ethanol, alcohol group. Define ore. A mineral which does not contain objectionable impurities such that a given metal can be conveniently and profitably extracted from it is called ore. Name any two methods of concentration of ore. The two methods are electromagnetic separation and gravity process. An element E has atomic number 17. Write the electronic configuration of E and find out the periods and group to which it belongs in the periodic table. E refers to chlorine element. Its electronic configuration is 287. E belongs to group 17 and period 3. Now in the last portion, that is biology, what is nutrition? The organism obtains this energy from an outside source, and this transfer process is called nutrition. Define the term assimilation. It is the utilization of absorbed food material for the process of growth, reproduction, or repair by the living organisms. Give any two difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration occurs in presence of oxygen, but anaerobic respiration occurs in absence of oxygen. Aerobic respiration released large amount of energy, but anaerobic respiration released very little amount of energy. Name 4 plant hormones. The 4 plant hormones are auxin, gibberellins, cytokinins, and ethylene. Name 2 functions of the large intestine. The 2 functions of large intestine are: it absorbs water from the unabsorbed food, it removes the unabsorbed food through the anus. What is double circulation? It is a type of circulatory system found in mammal in which the blood passes through the heart twice before completing a full circuit of the body. Blood is pumped from the heart to the lungs and returned to the heart before being distributed to the other organs. Give the difference between variation and heredity. Variation is the occurrence of difference in the individual, whereas heredity involves the inheritance of similarities as well as the variation from parents to the offspring. What are the 2 hormones secreted by thyroid gland? Thyroxine and calcitonin. What is dialysis? It is a process of separating small molecules from larger ones using a semi-permeable membrane. Name the blood vessels which carries oxygenated blood from lungs to heart, that is pulmonary veins. So students, if you have any doubt regarding the 2021 solve paper, please comment me, and whatever there is little bit of mistakes, I will rectify it, and I will attach the PDF in the description box in the Google Drive format. And please like my video if it gives any benefits to you, and share so that other students can get the benefit from this previous year question paper solutions, which will be and your likes to my video will motivate me. So please like, share and comment. So thank you to all my students.